Hi, folks. How are you? It's really good to see you. But unfortunately, Bruce is not here tonight. Tell you why, he's enjoying a bit of well-earned R&R. He pushes himself too hard, I reckon. And he's enjoying the grandchildren, he's catching his breath, and he's enjoying the sunshine too. So, Bruce, we wish you well and look forward to having you back on deck sooner than later. I'm just looking at the ratings from last night. Fascinating to see which of those top-rating programs came in number one, because, of course, we had the tennis, we had the cricket, we had I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Well, it might surprise you, but Sevens Tennis won the night. And it was followed, well, the presentation, of course, came in number one. Number two was the men's final itself, the actual game, earlier in the night. Number three, and Network 10 will be happy about this, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, opening night. 4 was Brett McLeod reading 9 News. Number 5 was Welcome to the Jungle, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here for Network 10. Number 6 was 7 News, I imagine read by Jennifer Kite superbly. Number 7 last night, the 2020 game Australia versus India, Game 3. Number 8, another win for Network 10, The X-Files. And Network 10 came in number 9 with Modern Family, and ABC Sunday Night News was number 10. Very interesting results. It was such a competitive night. I wonder which program you chose to watch. Or maybe you had your remote control and you were surfing from one channel to another. Well, the bad news is Brucey is not with us tonight, but somebody special is here instead.
And they stood where they were standing having a drink and chatting away. It was, what's the lady's name? She's from...
Val Lehman? No.
No, not Val. The one from Bonnie Lithgow. Do you know her?
No.
She used to be married to the man that did So You Think You Can Dance. So she was there, and while she was speaking, all these bull ants were crawling up her legs.
Gee.
So the only thing that I think I worry about is I wonder what would happen if you really did take ill. Tonight there was a challenge with Shane and Brendan, and they were in this cylinder. And when they were in the cylinder, they filled it up with, I forget what, rice or something. And then right up to their necks. Yeah. And then on top of that, they dropped things like cockroaches.
Oh, disgusting. Is that entertaining to watch?
Well, it's intriguing. It's a challenge, I suppose.
And now you've got the extra worry of the Zika mosquito, which is spreading around, all those countries.
I know, but that's all I worry about. What would happen if, because after they did this challenge, there were snakes and cockroaches trying to get in their ears. They had a doctor look at them and make sure that nothing had gone in their ears or, bitten them too hard on their back.
It would only take a fatality sometime or an accident for that show to be cancelled altogether.
Well, there's a lot of those shows, isn't there, that have those, I don't know, where they go on islands and they have to find their own food and all that. Survivor. So, but it is a bit of a worry. And when they were jumping from the plane, I was thinking, if that was me and I was jumping, me being an old girl, and as I jumped, my heart stopped.
Exactly.
I mean,
could happen. How would Bert and I be in there? How would Bert and I be in the jumper? Would we cope?
No, you would not cope.
I believe you're not allowed to have a cigarette. I believe they're...
No, well, see, Anthony's a big smoker, and so is Shane.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not allowed to drink.
That's right.
So there's no...
It's really tough, isn't it?
There's no drink.
But if you're getting paid $30,000 a day, like we believe Shane is, you'd make a sacrifice.
Maybe Shane is. I don't think everyone is. I can tell you now I wasn't offered that, so...
You know who I'd love to see on the show, but he can't do it. He's on the opposing network. And I think he might go on to win. He'd be voted most popular. Would be Peter Hitchener. Everyone would love to see Peter swinging from the vines.
He wouldn't mind being bitten by a spider.
Or jumping out of a plane. In fact, speaking of Peter, why don't we take a break? And he'll be here in just... And I'm going to be buried on top of my aunt's.
Are you?
I'm in I know it's delicate to talk about this, but it's a 3-tier grave, and there's room for me on top. And I've left plenty of space on the tombstone for a bit of a message. about me, you know. Probably
you haven't died yet,
summarising.
Phil, so don't... Who else is going to go in there?
Probably, no, only the three of us, but there's enough space on the granite to summarise my career, you know, in a few lines.
And what is that going to be?
Oh, well, probably the Logie I never won, you know, there'll be an imprint of the
Haven't
Logie.
you won a Logie?
No, not yet.
Oh,
no.
what a shame.
No, and, you know, probably the imprint of an OA or a Queen's Birthday honour, which never happened.
I know.
Some of the things
Well, you
that...
could just have here, Philip Brady worked at all the stations. You've worked everywhere, haven't
Probably
you?
a
Channel 10.
TV camera, because I'm the forgotten man.
3UZ, 3AW.
Okay, in years to come. But that's Cameo Memorials. Give them a call tomorrow.
Well, if they do a good job and they're lovely people, that's all you care about.
They are the best people in the world. Put on my booth announcer's voice from 60 years ago. National 9 News with Peter Hitchener.
Hello there. Good evening.
hello.
Patty. You two are so terrific.
Lovely to see your
by the
smiling
way-
face.
Oh, it's lovely to see you both. By the way, hello to Booze. We're missing you, Booze.
Yes.
It's very quiet here.
Yes.
I know that grandkids are having fun, and lucky them, but we're thinking of you and missing you, and hope you're having a good time.
He is. I rang him at the weekend. He was in
good.
very good form.
Oh,
and
good
we
to hear.
had a few laughs.
Yeah.
But now, please don't ask me about my weight, will you? Because I think you were tempted tonight to ask Lavinia, how's the weights?
What happened was...
Am I right?
Well, no, I didn't mean to. I was talking about... we just had a story about the elephant at Bong Su out at Melbourne Zoo.
I know.
And we're talking about 5.7 tonnes. And I was thinking, oh, gosh, actually, I think he's a bit heavier than I am.
You look like you've lost weight,
Oh,
Peter.
thank you, Patty. God bless you. I
No,
love
you
you,
do.
darling, dearest. You're going to get a kiss for that on both
Well, your
cheeks.
face is still round, but your body is thinner.
Nothing wrong with a round face. You just ask somebody you know.
Do you know Bert came in last week, didn't he, Phil?
Yes,
Yes,
I
he
know.
was here with us.
And
Lovely.
he was
GSP.
very disappointed you didn't
I
arrive.
know, and I was so disappointed that I couldn't get here that night. But it's always a bit of a touch and go thing, depending on the late news.
Yes.
But anyway, about Lavinia's weight, that naughty elephant story, and so we had the elephant story talking about how heavy he was, and then I turned to Lavinia and I was going to say, you know, what do we expect or something, and I said, what weight? I mean, no.
Oh, it was
But of course, the
wonderful.
thing with Lavinia is
It would never offend her.
Oh no, she's so lovely,
And
As
she's
you
so
know,
little, isn't she?
she's lovely and divine and beautiful. And as so many people have asked, is she the way she is in real
life.
And actually, she's more so.
It must come from Weather Girls, because people always used to ask that about Rosemary Morgan, didn't they?
yes.
They used to say, nobody can be that nice. I
Oh, but
mean,
she was.
But she was.
Wasn't
She was
Wasn't
lovely.
Oh, she's
And
lovely.
by
I
the
shouldn't
way-
say was, is lovely.
Is
Yes,
lovely
she
and,
ended up
could
on-
write backwards on that screen.
I know.
During the
She
weather.
lives up on the Gold Coast these days. We
Does
exchange
she?
Christmas cards.
Oh,
and she's
okay.
married to Neil Mitchell's brother, right?
That's right.
That's correct.
By the way, would you please convey my congratulations to Lavinia? Last week at Jeff Shed, she compared in front of about 2,000 dignitaries the Australia Day lunch for Australia
Gosh,
Post.
that's a big job,
And
that
she did it superbly.
Yep.
And she interviewed all the tennis stars of the past.
Yep.
And she didn't put a foot wrong. So please tell her how impressed we were. And she was the right lady at the right time.
I shall certainly do that. I have no. I'm not at all surprised because she's so good.
She's sort of an untapped talent, isn't she,
is.
really?
She is.
I don't think she's so... Well, I remember
She's
from
much
Hey
loved.
Hey.
Yes, of
and
course.
she was great on that.
Yeah.
But
She's so witty and so
She
fast.
is, yeah.
And I'll never forget how she came to the rescue one night. I was merrily reading the news and suddenly lost my voice.
Yeah,
I
we were
watched
watching
that
that
night.
night.
Oh, thank you both very
I
much.
almost hopped in the cab and came in. I didn't know if I'd get there in
The
time.
only thing was, like,
didn't have his
like
makeup
a
on.
telephone, I kept the chair with me just to be honest.
Oh, no,
That
I bring,
was hysterical,
No, don't
really.
worry. I bring my own chair.
Well, anyway, before the taxi arrived, Lavinia was there and was able to take over. Didn't miss a beat. She just
No.
gestured to me.
That's right.
And I was thinking, what am I going to do? And Lavinia just
Yeah.
gestured to me. I got it. And isn't she wonderful?
She's such a pro.
You were fabulous that night, though. You were going very watery in the eyes and going redder and redder. And all of a sudden, you were sort of pushed to the side, and Lavinia came in and went straight into it and was perfect.
Absolutely.
Didn't miss a beat.
Not a beat. That's
We had a girl here, I can't think of her name, Kemal. She got the hiccups reading the news
never
one
forget.
night.
I
I'll
remember
never forget
listening
that.
to that too.
And she
I heard
just
that.
and she just kept going.
She was
you know?
wonderful.
Yes.
Didn't miss a beat and just kept on going.
It was like those punctuation marks that Victor Borger introduced into his sketches.
And only those of us of a certain vintage will remember that. But it was so funny, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
See, the problem with me is I couldn't do that because I would go hysterical because I'm one of those, I'm one of those people when someone tells you something bad, I don't know whether it's a release that I get, but I want to laugh, and I go hysterical.
You wouldn't.
No, you probably wouldn't.
I just heard you talking about some sponsor, just a few minutes ago,
I know.
And you had no idea what the copy was, and you just did a beautiful job of it. So I don't believe you, Patti Newton. I think you're making that bit up.
Do you know when Graham and I used to do a sketch together?
That would have been a hoot.
Particularly if it wasn't a great sketch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the one thing that he always did was he'd either cross his eyes or, you know, when he kissed me, he'd, like, poke a bit of tongue in and I'd go hysterical. And the sketch ended up being funnier than it actually was because of both of us going hysterical.
Yes,
exactly. So I suppose there are good things about it, but I'm not good in a crisis.
Cut it out.
It is a bit of a nervous thing, I think I get.
Oh, I don't know. For instance, tonight I was delighted to listen to your theme played pretty much in full.
Yes.
How sweet, and how I was thinking that dear little thing, you'd have been 12-ish. And you're singing this very grown-up song without having any idea what it's all about.
Well, I say Malibu, I think. Malibu.
Oh, you said it.
No, you're good. When you were doing that show, Peter Hitchener, all those years ago, Gambit,
a game of skill, fate and fortune.
And you probably were doing 5 at a time or whatever.
We were.
Did anything ever go wrong during the recording of those shows?
Oh, yes, just about everything that could possibly go wrong did so. And you know, that's just the way it is. And the good thing, though, is they were actually recorded at Channel 9 in Sydney before I came to live in Melbourne, which was a wonderful thing. I was so lucky I came to live in Melbourne, which I love. But on the studio floor, as you know, everything goes wrong. But the glory of the whole thing was they're recorded. So, you know, you might have an hour or so just cooling your heels and chatting to the audience, the studio audience. And then when they're
it's
ready,
funny, Peter, you say that, but Bert works completely the opposite to that because he loves it when they're live and not recorded.
Yes.
And he's always hoping that something will go wrong because that's how he gets the fun of it and, you know, makes the most of it.
Yes.
I remember in theatre he was, I think he was the Wizard, and it was the Wizard of Oz. And, you know, he gets into the balloon just at the end of the show, like this is the big climax, and the balloon's going to go up into the sky, and something went wrong and the balloon wouldn't move. So he said his line, bye-bye, you know, farewell, goodbye, and nothing happened. And everyone froze. But
not Bert.
Not Bert. No. Bert did a whole routine.
He'd love it. Were you in the audience that night?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
but
how wonderful.
Everyone kept saying, oh, I don't know how you could do that. We were all so frightened. Bert said, that's my best thing. That's what I do for a living, you know.
Exactly. And, you know, I always marvel at his just rapier-like quick wit. And there's somebody coming along who reminds me in some ways of Bert, and that's my colleague Tony Jones.
Ah, yes.
Similarly, very witty and very fast.
It's a dying breed, I think.
I think it is,
to be honest with
I think
you,
it is.
Peter.
They're the two people. Mind you, I'm sure there are many more in Melbourne that I'm just not sort of thinking of at the moment. But
Daryl does it on Hey Hey, and I think Rove would do it, except this day and age, everybody has earphones in, and you're told to say what they're told from upstairs.
You know,
know?
I'll say something about Bert. Everybody loved Graham Kennedy, and we still talk about him. But I have to say, I think Bert is Australia's most durable TV performer for the longevity, for the joy he's brought so many people.
Perhaps the eldest.
Over so many years. And I'd like to think there's more for Bert, you know, that he could reinvent himself on. Wouldn't he be wonderful, Peter, doing a Parkinson-type show late at night?
Very much.
You know, a low-budget show, but with good guests.
You think about how wonderful he was on radio doing the interviews. I remember him on 3UZ for years. It was just wonderful radio and unmissable radio. Not to mention all his comparing on television and all the jokes.
The Logies.
And I mean, the Logies.
You know, one of
he
the
was
best,
so wonderful at the Logies.
One of the best people that he'd ever worked with on the Logies is not a big name, but they had this most unbelievable rapport. Can either of you think who that may have been?
Someone unexpectedly.
It was an overseas performer, not somebody that maybe you would expect to be as good as he was.
You have told us before.
He had John Wayne and you know...
Sammy Davis and people like that.
All those people were great, but William Shatner was sensational.
Yes, you've told us this before.
And, you know, they just clicked. Yes. And they had this wonderful repartee going on that neither of them knew what the other was going to say until they said it, and then the other would come up with a better line, and it just kept going, and I think they could have worked forever.
Isn't that amazing? And the thing is, William Shatner is still... very witty and much loved by audiences for his comedy and his one-man shows and things. So
he is, but he's reinvented himself, hasn't he, many times?
As Bert does, because Bert, you know, is a stage performer with an amazing CV of shows that he's been in. And
you
more
two
to
will
come.
be the same. Do you know, I think it's you either have a work ethic or you don't. And
Bruce has it.
Bruce has got it too,
Bruce
very
has
much
it,
so.
yes.
And it's sort of the thing where I don't think retiring is really anything that you think about, because when one thing finishes, you move into another. Bert started in radio, then went to telly, and then when there wasn't much television around, he went to theatre. And now he's done a lot of theatre, so hopefully something else will come up in the theatre world. But if it doesn't, he'll find something else.
Well, what about social media? Social media is so engaging and so much fun.
It's going to kill the world, Peter.
Oh, don't say that, because I love it.
Kill the world.
Aren't we, Peter, we have to say goodnight, but aren't we all blessed to be doing something we love doing?
We just.
And hopefully it's bringing other people pleasure as well.
And absolutely. And when you were talking about the inscription on your tombstone, you've got the money makers.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know there's room for all my credits.
No, that'll take up 3 parking lots.
Bless you, Peter.
Take care. Good night, kids.
Well,
Ian and I have gone overseas together a couple of times.
Have you? Have you held hands as well?
No,
or
I mean,
just...
there's nothing sus about it, but just as good travelling mates.
Yeah, no, I would think he and his wife were very nice. I met them
gorgeous,
when you celebrated your big party.
That's right.
And I was having a chat with them, and they seem very nice people.
Now, I know it's your birthday this week. I haven't done anything about it yet.
Oh, don't be stupid.
But
you don't
there's
have to.
a shop in Glenferrie Road, Hawthorne, called Candles.
All right.
And they sell religious relics. And I'm wondering, would you like a statue of Our Lady?
I have a statue of Our Lady. I went to the Good Shepherd Convent, and when they were, it's where Chadston Shopping Centre is. Yeah. And when they were pulling the convent down, which where I went, Bert went to the convent and asked them if I could have a statue.
It'll be a big statue too, wouldn't it?
It is. It's about this high, and it's a beautiful one, and I treasure it, and I have it at home. I do have it in a cupboard, but when I open the cupboard, I see it. And I'm very fond of it. So you don't need to buy me anything, but thank you for the thought.
What about a framed picture of the Pope? No?
No.
Okay.
No, just a little tiny rosary. There you go.
Or a scented candle. I'll
there
think
you go.
of
My
something.
daughter is having a baby very soon.
Yes.
And I was going in to buy a rosary for the baby.
Rosary, all right.
Just a little tiny
And you'll
one.
pass it on. Oh, I'll do that with pleasure.
Then it'll come from
it'll
come from the 3 of us.
I'll have it blessed for you. Okay. Hey, here's a pal of yours, Edna, in Hawthorne.
Hello. Hello, Edna.
Oh, look, you've made my day. Actually, I'm here in bed, of course, and I thought I'll turn 3AW on. I might hear Phil and Bruce for a little while.
Oh, well, Bruce is not in tonight.
You arrive. I hear the music. Oh, it's a special person. And the music came on, and the whole thing was played. It was beautiful, and everything you've struck tonight that's just, it suits me great.
Oh,
absolutely.
Good on you, Edna.
I mean, and as to being, I'm getting to the stage that I'm pretty old, nearly.
How old are you,
100.
Edna?
Yes, so the thing is that, and my friend, my nun friend, that I went to school with many years ago.
What was her name?
Sister Angela.
Right.
She's down at Abbotsford. Now, the thing is that a fortnight after I turned 98, she turned 99. And so she was just about 12 months older than me. And so I said to her when we were putting up all her lovely things for her birthday, and that I said, now you're over your nines now, the next one's your 100, and looking for a letter from the Queen. She said, yes, I've got a spot for it, and then you got a go. She said, then you will. I said, no, I just only hope and pray when I say my prayers that I'm taken before my children. I don't want to have to bury my children.
Yeah.
Both of them haven't been that well.
Oh, that's sad.
And I did the other day when my daughter rang me and she said, it's Marilyn, Mum. I'm in the hospital and I'll ring you after, I hope. And I just had that awful feeling with that. The last time I hear her voice, I just felt so panicky. And I rang my son and spoke to him and my daughter-in-law, and I was in tears by then, and I couldn't help it.
But is she
I
okay?
just felt, well, here I am, that I have my prayers that I die before they do.
Oh, well, look.
I thought it was bad enough. It's nearly 4 years since my lovely brother died, and that was a shock to me, and I still miss him every damn day.
I know. I'm sure you do.
Oh, yes, because he was 9.25 years younger than me, I had no idea he was going to die.
Yeah, such a shock.
And how are you keeping, Edna? Is your health well?
Well, I'm here.
That's it. That's all that matters. You're still here. That's all that matters.
And we always enjoy...
I can't dance. I can hardly walk. I have to have a walker. I have one right by my bed now.
Yes.
To walk it in to the toilet and what have you.
Of course.
Oh, yes, I've got 2 toilets. Right. Not two toilets, two machines to go on, and I have a scooter just inside the door.
You're in good shape. And we always love hearing your calls, Edna. And
lovely,
I
Edna.
often see your friend Mary Murphy too, and she sends her love to you.
Herald Sun headlines for Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence online, mobile and in store.
And Kate McMahon is at the Herald Sun. I'm wondering if you're leading about the leaks in the loop, Kate.
The leaks in the libs?
No, the loop, the city loop.
Oh, the loop.
Yeah.
No, we're not. It was a good guess, though, Phil.
Yeah.
We've actually got a cracking exclusive on our front page tomorrow about controversial jockey Danny Nikolic denies he fired shots at the Templestowe home of Terry Bailey last year. You might remember Terry Bailey's the racing steward, and he had some shots fired at his home in the middle of the night, and a few years ago Danny had threatened him. I can't say much more than that, but it's just such an intriguing yarn. Right. So that'll no doubt raise some eyebrows tomorrow. We've also got a fabulous story about a potential new drug to treat cancer, which has been developed right here in Melbourne, and it's set for global trials, and this drug could be a breakthrough for diseases including breast cancer, lung cancer, colorectal cancer, mantle cell lymphoma. It's just hugely exciting. Good. So can you imagine if we found a cure for cancer right here in Melbourne?
In our lifetime, wouldn't that be a miracle?
It would be amazing. And I'm just always in awe of our amazing researchers in this city.
Yes.
So the breakthroughs that have come from Melbourne are incredible. We've also got some great reads on overcrowding at schools. Some students apparently have been breaking limbs because playgrounds are so full. There's a really intriguing story about mafia links in Australia. Some incredible pics of a truck which smashed into a bridge at Flinders Street today, and all the latest on Molly Meldrum.
Oh, that's good. And, of course, a taste lift out tomorrow, haven't you?
We do, and we join Elizabeth Chong on a taste tour of Springvale, just in time for Lunar New Year.
Oh, thanks, Kate. All in tomorrow's Herald Sun. Thanks for that. Good night to you. And Trevor in Lilydale would like to talk to Patti.
Hello, Trevor in Lilydale. Are you there, Trevor?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, speak to us, please.
How are you going?
Oh, sorry, Phil. Great to hear your show.
Thanks,
You've probably been hanging on a while, have you, Trevor? Thanks for that.
What can we do for you?
But I don't mind because Patti Newton is before me, and that's really good.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Very nice.
Trevor, look, I tell you what, your phone is breaking up. I don't know if you're on a mobile or a hands-free, but I'm going to ask you to ring back, but do it after the news. Wait till about 11:05 now, because we have other commitments. We have the passing parade, we've got the news, we've got the weather.
Okay.
By the way, I did indicate over the weekend that tonight announced the winner of the Tiger Airlines Bali Prize.
Oh, I've been listening to those.
You know, over the last 2 weeks, 20 lucky listeners
Absolutely.
are going into state with Tiger Air from Terminal 4. And one of them, we don't know which one, that'll be out of the barrel, one has won a return airfare and a week's accommodation for a whole family at the Hotel Mercure Bali League Inn, thanks to Tiger Air, who fly direct from Melbourne to Bali. It was on the news tonight.
Yes, I saw that.
That's from the 23rd of March. So hopefully, Bianca, if you're here tomorrow night, we'll try and organise to ring the winner tomorrow night.
Our kids.
So Jenny of Endeavour Hills, we only have a minute, but say hello to Patty.
Hi.
Phil and Patty.
Hello, Jenny.
I just want to say happy birthday to you because I'm 67 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday to you. You're an Aquarian as well.
Yes, and are you a typical Aquarian where we're determined, headstrong?
Do you know, I have a son that is also an Aquarian, Jenny, and, you know, the funny part about it is we both think we know everything, but I know I do, and he knows he does. So, yes, we are typical.
We are, yes. Anyway, you have a lovely birthday.
And you have a lovely birthday too. You know, I like Aquarians, and I'm very close to Aries people, and very close to Scorpions. So, who have you got?
Yeah, I'm close to Leos.
All right.
My birth's a Leo.
Yeah, and some of my best friends like Graham Kennedy, they're all Aquarians like you are, and Patty. Happy birthday.
Hello again.
Jenny.
This is John Doremus with the Passing Parade, the story of a radio play that swept a nation into panic. I'll be back after this message. 1938, the democratic world was suffering from a bad attack of the jitters. For months, millions of Americans had been glued to their radios listening to news flashes from Nazi-menaced Europe. On the night of Sunday the 30th, Orson Welles' Mercury Theater of the Air was scheduled to broadcast a radio adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel, The War of the Worlds. In the modernized script, the scene of the invasion of the Martian monsters had been shifted from Europe to the eastern United States. The program began with an announcement that a play by Orson Welles' Mercury Theater was about to be broadcast. No drama followed, however. Instead came the placid voice of an announcer reading a weather forecast. Then abruptly the scene switched to the mythical Park Plaza Hotel and the dance music of Ramon Raquello's orchestra. Thousands of dial twiddlers who would tune in to the music by chance were shaken out of their chairs when the program was interrupted by a news flash to the effect that a giant meteorite had fallen at Grover's Mill, New Jersey, killing 1,500 people. More music followed. Then came a series of dramatic flashes that built up a mounting story of horror. On the edge of the crater where the meteorite lay, eyewitness reporters relayed a vivid description of the scene. Wild screams and sounds of mass panic in the background added to the effect. Then one of the reporters suddenly shouted in terror that it was not a meteorite but a Martian spaceship, from which crawled a blood-curdling figure as big as a bear with tentacles like gray snakes and skin that glittered like wet leather. The scene climaxed in an appalling scream, the crash of a falling microphone, then deathly silence. The reporters and others at the scene had been shriveled to cinders by Martian ray guns. Further flashes from the studio reported that similar Martian spaceships were landing in clouds in the states of New York and New Jersey. Unknown to Orson Welles and his players, the Martian invasion had touched off a fantastic wave of hysteria that was sweeping the United States from Oregon to Alabama. The panic extended far beyond the invaded areas of New York and New Jersey, as the Mercury Theater was broadcast on a coast-to-coast radio network. Not till after the play had ended did hundreds of thousands of horror-stricken Americans learn that they had been victims of...
Patty's still with me, yeah, because Bruce is taking a night off. And Patty, we go to the Bureau now and talk to Rod Dixon. Hi, Rod.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rod.
What a perfect day today, wasn't it?
It was a lovely day after some storms over the weekend, so it was nice to see the sun today. We reached 23.6 just after 4:30. A little bit warmer through northern suburbs. Viewbank 26.1 degrees. So, and plenty of sunshine around today. So those clear conditions lasting overnight, but we'll see a little bit of cloud develop tomorrow morning. So some patchy fog and low cloud around during the morning, but then we should see the sun again tomorrow morning before cloud increases during the afternoon, and that's to do with some rain developing over western parts of the state. We might see a little bit of light rain around Melbourne from the late afternoon and early evening period, but a warm day ahead of that, up to 29 degrees after an overnight low of 16. Just pretty light rain around.
It's not quite like summers used to be, though, is it? I mean, we used to be in stifling weather at this time of the year.
Well, look, it can vary. You don't have to go back too far until we had some pretty stifling weather earlier in January. Around the 13th, we recorded 42.2, which was our warmest day for the month, and that was then followed by the coldest day of the month, 18 degrees on the 14th. So we've had a bit of everything this January, but certainly some useful rainfall in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's Melbourne.
A bit unpredictable, isn't it?
Yeah. How about midweek, please, Rod?
Into Wednesday, it looks like we'll see a cold front move through overnight tomorrow night, so we'll see some early rain Wednesday morning. That'll ease to showers and clear up during the afternoon, but a cool day with southerly winds, 19 to 21 degrees. But then some milder weather to follow. Still cool on Thursday, 21 degrees with southerly winds still, but milder Friday, up to 25 degrees. And some fine and sunny weather to follow over the weekend, 30 degrees on Saturday, 31 on Sunday. So a pretty good weekend
like
on the way.
the 31s and the 30s on the weekend.
All good news. Thanks a lot, Rod, and best to everyone at the Bureau.
Thanks a lot.
Goodbye now, Rod.
I suppose this is past your bedtime now, is it? Staying on till midnight?
No, I'm a bit of a night owl. I like watching telly, and I've got Foxtel, and I'm, busy sort of catching up things that I haven't seen.
Okay.
It's funny, I think over the last break, with the rating period not happening, you do miss those shows, like all the new ones that are coming up, and there's so many of them.
Yes.
And there's, I don't know, I think Downton Abbey's coming back, but not yet.
Yeah, one more series only.
Yeah, but
would you like a
that.
preview of it? Would you like to see the whole series? It can be organised.
Yeah, I might.
Okay, commercial free.
Only because there's every chance that, there are so many other things I'm watching, I might miss it.
You could miss an episode.
But there's that Australia's Got Talent. That was on tonight.
With Dave Hughes?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what it's like. There's been quite a few changes. The Voice. I love The Voice. I think that's fabulous. Well, there's a guy called Darren that normally is the host, and he's just been dismissed. And now it's Sonia Kruger. She's going to be the sole host. She's fabulous, and she did a wonderful job last year. But I think Darren's done it quite a few years before her, so he'd be disappointed. And Ricky Martin is no longer one of the judges. Ronan Keating is going to take over.
He'll be a good replacement.
Yeah, but it's I like it when it's like having the kids home from school. I love it, and you don't have to worry about lunches or getting up early or doing all of that. But then you get to the stage where you think, no, I like the routine. The routine of kids going to school, being there, having a great time and coming home.
There are so many topics I want to cover, but we have calls. Trevor, Chris, Patti, and Pom Pom, get to you in just a moment. I wanted to talk to you about op shops. I wanted to talk to you about the year of the monkey. The kids came back to school. Charities declaring their overheads. Water in the underground loop. But we mightn't get to any of that because Trevor's there. Hi, Trevor. You've come back.
How are you, mate? Great to hear you, sir.
That's a better line.
Now we hear you.
I listen to you every night, and it's fantastic.
Good on you, Trevor.
I've never called in before, but what I want to talk about, two things, is I run a local sports club, and we have to run an administrator for all what these young blokes do on mobile phones these days, because they always get into trouble.
Yes.
they get a bit of drink into them, and that poor sportsman, he just had too much drink in there. And mobile phones and that today kill us, you know what I mean?
Yes, they can be our worst enemy.
Well, I always feel that social media is... Look, I know we have to have it, and I know it's fabulous most of the time, but it just can tip over the edge, and I think it's going to be a disaster for the world, really.
Well, it could be,
definitely. It's going to be a disaster because we have an administrator that has to pull everything down all the time. We have a function, and someone might have too much to drink. Yeah. And that's in local football clubs.
And they can ruin it for everybody in the club. They can give the club a bad name.
Yeah, so we have to have a disciplinary committee and all that type of thing. And,
yes. You know, Trevor, it's not just the boys that are, at your footy club. It's young kids now. I mean, when you go to these schools and you see the young kids, they're about 11 and 10 and 12, and they've all got phones up to their ears. Yeah. It's a bit dangerous, I think.
And the second thing I want to talk about is domestic violence.
Yes.
I live with a girl, and it's their 12-month anniversary in 10 days, that has 2 children, and she lives with an ex-violent husband who's been bashed and everything, and the system just lets her down, and she lives in fear every day.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's a tough call.
It is a tough call. She earns to see her children every day of the week, and her young daughter's gone up to a private school now, which he pays for, but she's not allowed to see the children because he just whips them away, tears them apart, and she's been to every authority in Australia,
yes,
and no one can help.
Can she move away from the situation, perhaps?
Oh, I don't know, Phil. I don't bloody know.
See, we're not hearing the whole story, but we're desperately sorry for her, Trevor, and unfortunately it's being repeated in so many households, isn't it?
Oh, it's an epidemic, really.
It would appear to be.
An epidemic.
Thanks, Trevor, for alerting us to that, and I hope there's a happy ending to that. We're going to Hastings. Who wants to talk to us?
Oh, hello, Chris. I often hear you, Chris, on the way home.
Oh, how unlucky for you, Patty. How are you, Patty?
I'm very good, thank you, Chris. Very good.
Hi, Philip. Philip's not going on holidays anymore, Patty.
No, well, I won't let him. I think he needs to stay with his feet planted on the ground. I don't think he needs to go anywhere.
Did you see the ship to Tasmania broke its moorings the other week?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, that was a bit of a
worry, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to go to Tasmania. And you're going out to see that new play, Patty, Neil Finn's... It's supposed to be a good musical. So Neil Finn's has done all the writing.
Would that be Ladies in Black?
Oh, I wouldn't be sure, Phil.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Fatty Finn, but Bert's not in it, is he?
No, Fatty Finn is a movie, and this one his name is Tim, I think.
Yeah.
Tim Finn.
They're marvellous brothers, and you two are like brother and sister, aren't you?
Well, we sort of are. We've known one another a long time.
Yeah, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, darling.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were talking to me, Chris.
I was.
I'll be thinking of you next time I'm down at the Tyre Packing House. Shopping there.
Do try it, Philip. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Nice to talk to you, Chris.
And best to June.
Behaviour.
Chris asked me would I go away again. Having an 8-month-old pup, Oro.
Oh, how is he?
He's gorgeous, but it's very hard to leave home.
Oh, I know. Well, the lady opposite us has just got a new haired Alsatian.
Oh, yes.
And it's like tiny.
Is it a puppy? Yes.
Yes, very tiny, and its ears haven't sort of come down yet. They're still crossed up the top.
Oh, how gorgeous.
But I was reading in one of the magazines today, which I thought of you because it's Australian Working Dog Rescue. Have you heard of them?
No, tell me
They're
more.
in Sydney. But what they do, it's a couple, Carrie and Di, his wife Di, and what they do is they go to the shelters or the places where dogs go when they're found or lost or something, and if their owners don't pick them up within a certain time, they have a needle and they die.
Yeah.
So it was getting too much for them. So what they do is they go to these places and they rescue the dogs, take them to their establishment, and they look after them. And if they're sort of nervous dogs or they, you know, it's mainly working dogs, like, you know, dogs that look after sheep or cattle or live on farms, they sort of give them a bit of training and then they find homes for them.
How wonderful.
And farms for them to live on.
Yeah.
And they probably have thousands and thousands of dogs per year.
Oh.
But I thought it was a lovely story.
Yes.
And great to see people doing things
to keep
like
them
that.
off death row.
Oh, exactly.
Now, I know it's radio, but there's a picture of my boy, Oro, 8 months old now.
Now, what kind of dog is he?
A golden retriever, but a creamy one.
Oh, yeah,
and
lovely.
he already weighs 36 kilograms, but he thinks he's still a pup. And I'm watching TV and he jumps on my lap. 36 kilograms of him.
Well, my son
The chair nearly collapses.
used to have a Rhodesian Ridgeway. Is that what you call them?
Ridgeback?
Ridgeback, that's right.
Yeah.
Huge, absolutely huge, like a horse, a baby horse.
I know.
And he used to sit on Matthew's knee. And it was the funniest sight to see, you know, this dog, like a little tiny puppy, but he was a great big dog.
It happens.
Yeah,
they
it
forget
does.
they're growing up. Patti Newton's with us for the second hour again of Nightline on the Monday night. And here's another Patti in the Yarra Valley.
Hello, how are you, Patti?
And are you spelt with an I or a Y?
Oh, with a Y.
Oh, I'm an I. I'm an
well,
I.
I sometimes always got Patti from my dad, but I usually get Patricia.
Well, do you? Oh, only when someone is angry with me do I get Patricia.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I have a first cousin who's also a Patti, and I'm thinking, why did those two sisters name their two daughters the same name?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
But I have met you a couple of times, and it was my pleasure.
Where did you meet?
Oh, I met you at a gala function for a challenge one night.
All right.
And both you and Philip will know my Uncle Stan Stafford.
Oh, yes. We
Gee, I worked with him a lot on the Tarak show.
Of course, yes.
I know you did,
Yeah, he was Bert used to think the world of Stan.
He was a lovely man.
And he used to do a lot of gigs for Bert at the Fitzroy, you know, Sunday mornings or, you know, the
3DB and
all of that.
Yeah, 3XY and Melbourne Town Hall.
Really nice man.
Yeah, my mum used to take us around.
He was a jockey, wasn't he?
He was a jockey, and he had a bad racing fall at age 19.
And never walked.
No.
He used to have, I can't remember his name, of course, it's many years ago now, but he used to have a friend that always piggybacked him.
That's right, yeah.
Rather than a wheelchair.
Yes, that's right,
He used to be piggybacked
And also
everywhere.
his brother, he was in the police force, that man.
Oh, right.
And also his brother, Peter Stafford, used to piggyback him as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, he never let that stop his career, did it?
No, and he was a really good entertainer. He was lovely, you know.
He cut a lot of cords. And
lovely lilt in his voice. It was great.
Yes.
Oh, happy memories, Patti. Thanks for sharing them.
Yes, and happy birthday for you now, Patti.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm going backwards now. I'm going to be 52.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe it. Okay, Patti, nice to talk. Do you ever hear from, and I think you went to Vietnam with him, and he used to work with us on TV, Doug Owen?
Yes.
I think he's living in Sydney.
Oh, well, you know, it was a funny situation because we went with the Australian Army and there was Denise Drysdale, The Strangers, Doug Owen and me.
That's right.
And we had got a show together and, we did all sorts of things. Denise and I did, like, you know, Shirley Temple and, you know, Thoroughly Modern Millie, and we entertained not only the Australian troops, but we worked for the Americans as well, even though we were with the Australians. But it was, I have to say, probably changed my life totally. Denise and I were very young. We were the only girls, and we used to travel on helicopters with two gunners either side. So, you know, we went there thinking this was such a fun adventure, and got there and realised it was a war zone.
Yes.
But while we were there, Doug took very ill, and he had he went to the hospital one afternoon, and I think he got bad news that he had a cancer. And I remember us doing a big concert to raise money for him and everything, and I actually thought he might have passed away.
Oh, no, I talk to him
I
occasionally.
know. And then one day I got this phone call, and I was thinking, oh, isn't that fabulous? You're still around.
Yeah, a great bloke, isn't he?
A really good bloke.
Yes,
and he
is.
was very... It was great in the show because he's a very jolly sort of man,
Yes,
you know,
he is, yeah.
and he a good singer, and he used to keep everything going and had a couple of gags with the boys, and it was a good little show.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Can we congratulate Mike Larkin on 20 years doing the weather on Network 10?
But, you know, he's a very nice man, isn't he, Mike?
Yeah, beautiful bloke, yeah.
And I often see him at, you know, do's and things
you
that
would.
you go to, and he's there usually with his kids, but... Are you going to Ghost on the weekend?
I've been invited.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be wonderful.
It'll be lovely. Well, of
Be
course,
very
two
sad,
of the...
won't it?
Well, it will, because I don't think it's not a replica of the movie.
All right.
But it's Rob Mills, who's very dear to us because he's worked with Bert quite a lot, and Gemma Rix, I think you call it, R-I-X. How do you say that? Rix.
Gemma Rix.
And of course you know her because she was the Green Witch in Wicked.
That's right.
And she's been a fabulous performer. Great. I think she's actually been with Wicked for 6 years or 6 or 7 years.
It's a great cast. It'll be a wonderful show.
And so she's playing the main female role, but she looks totally different. She's blonde, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be fabulous.
Tell us about it on Monday night.
I will.
Next Monday.
Yes, I will.
Meantime, here's a buddy of ours, Pom Pom Pete in Camberwell.
Phil and Patty.
Hello, Pom Pom Pete.
Good evening. Happy New Year to you, Patty, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. A happy birthday for Thursday as well.
Yes. Do you know,
Yes.
when Bert and I first worked at 3UZ...
Years ago, yes.
Many, many years ago, you were a very young boy, and I was pregnant with Matthew. And I remember you used to wait outside the stairs as I came down. You'd always say hello, and because I used to do I think on a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
And you'd always be there. And I don't think you have ever missed my birthday. So I appreciate your birthday wish very much, because it's been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah, mine's next Sunday too.
Is it?
2 days after yours.
Well, that's probably why you remember mine. But I'm 71, so I know you're a lot younger than me.
A few years, no, I'll be 58.
Oh, there you go. Well, see, I only think of you as a boy of, 16 or something like that.
Oh, Patty, thank you for Patty. I don't feel my age. I don't look my age.
No.
You know, so my dearest friends are Aquarians, it turns out. I don't believe in the zodiac too much, but it just happens a lot of people that I'm near and dear to have a birthday this month, before the 21st.
Well, it's funny. Lauren is about to have her 4th baby, and this baby will be an Aquarian. But it's funny, all her babies are her son is January the 19th, my son is January the 22nd, and her daughter is March 26th, and Lauren is March 25th.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
So we were sort of pregnant at the same times, you know. It must have been, I don't know.
It's an expensive time of the year for you.
Very
Hey, Pom Pom,
expensive.
thanks for your call, mate. And to Brighton and to Bill. Hello, Bill. Welcome to Nightline.
Hi, Bill.
Hello, good evening to you, Phil and Patty. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Just following up, Phil, on my call to you last night, just to remind everyone we're starting our Merry Melodies tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's at between 2 to 4, and that's at St Paul's Anglican Church there in Dandenong Road, where Glenferrie Road runs into Dandenong Road. And we've got a great line-up tomorrow. Lane Lamont's appearing guest artist.
Oh, I love Lane.
Yeah, Lane's appearing with Patty Lewis, and we've got Helen Jowsey tomorrow on the piano.
Oh, please say hello to Helen. She's my dearest friend.
Yeah, certainly will. And Phil, I'm not sure whether you're aware, when we first started, you might remember we had Bobby Bernard playing for us.
Yeah, and he's passed away, I know.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure whether you knew that.
I do know. I knew him He used to play piano at the Peter's Palace parties in the 1950s, mid-1950s. He would be at the Assembly Hall in Collins Street and later the Nicholas Hall as well for Billy Bouncer and 3KZ.
Yes, yeah. Oh, he's a great personality.
Yes, he was a lovely man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Phil, I caught up today. I was at the Limelighters lunch with Dorothy Baker.
Yes.
And I've given her a CD she's going to pass on to you that we spoke about a little time back, you might recall.
And I do compliment you the way you promote Mary Melodies. You're an asset to their company.
Oh, thank you very much, Phil. We're looking forward to another year of it, and we enjoyed so much with the elder members of the community coming in and having a good old sing-song.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful.
Oh,
and it happens once a month, doesn't it?
It happens the first Tuesday of every month,
Okay.
Phil. Yes.
All right, Bill, good luck tomorrow. Hope it's a success.
We'll be thinking of you.
Hey, it's already some supper after the show. There's a McDonald's in Abbotsford. I'm serious, I might stop there.
I'm pretty right for supper, thank you, Phil. I've got a husband waiting for me at home.
Then there's Pancake Parlour up in Doncaster East.
I love Pancake Parlour, yes.
Yeah,
That's one of my favourite things, to have pancake, maple syrup and a dob of ice cream.
Well, perhaps ring Bert, maybe he'll join us in an hour.
I don't think so. Were you listening on the news tonight about Molly? He's been pretty lucky, hasn't he?
Yeah, that was on the 7 News, and I didn't catch that.
No,
Mick McCallum did the interview.
I was reading it on, but he was very lucky not to do more damage.
He's had 9 lives, Molly, hasn't
he? He has. I'm looking forward to his special that's on, 2-part series.
That should be interesting.
It's on Sunday night, so that'll be big viewing on Sunday night. They're all going for it, aren't they?
Yeah, that'll win the ratings. Good luck to you, Molly.
Yes.
And we say hello to Jeff on the mobile. Hello, Jeff.
Hi there, Phil, and hi, Patty.
Hi, Jeff.
Patty, I think this might be the first time I've spoken to you. I have heard you from time to time, obviously, on AW, and it's great to hear you on there.
Oh, thank you.
3 quick things, if I can. Earlier, Phil, in the show, you talked about Victor Borg. Remember the
Yeah, the Danish comedian, yes.
Yeah, and it just brought back some memories. We used to have records with him, and he, like in the house, and you'd play the records, and he was a wonderful person, a fantastic comic too. And you particularly mentioned that the phonetic punctuation.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
He was on the Lane Show, wasn't he?
Possibly.
Came out and did the Lane Show. He was just so dry and so sort of, you couldn't take your eyes off him. Very funny man.
Yeah.
He was wonderful.
Wonderful.
And Patty, and happy birthday for your upcoming birthday.
Thank you.
And when you said to Pom Pom Pete about, you remembered that because yours is a similar date, it takes me back to my wedding anniversary. Where I used to work, there was a girl that had was married the same day as me, and it was wonderful because I'd get a month's warning about my upcoming wedding anniversary every year.
Never got into trouble.
And a couple of weeks after that, I'd be made sure that I'd actually gone out and bought the gifts. So it was like having my own special minder that used to make sure that date was never forgotten. So,
but Jeff, I believe in that. I sort of think, why just get hurt because, they forget or they don't remember. I remember Bert and I were doing a telethon in Perth, and it was my birthday, and I thought, this is going to be very special. He's going to have something really... And he forgot. And I was so hurt, and I thought, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to remind him. I'm going to say, the birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
And I do that to everyone now. I ring my son, and I don't have to with my daughter because she remembers everything, but she'll remind Bert and say, what do you want to do for Mum's birthday? And I think that's a good thing to do.
All right,
so
Bill.
I'm glad you remember.
Hey, we're talking about, Jeff, we're talking about Pancake Parlour. Like to go there, and we'll give you a $50 voucher to go to High Point, Doncaster or Malvern East, because, Jeff, Pancake Parlour is lovely.
That's lovely. Thanks very much for that, guys.
All right, hang on for your prize. Where are we going now, Patty?
We're going to Peter at North Coburg. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Patty.
How are you going?
Yeah, listen, can I ask Phil?
Yes.
Yeah.
When was the swimming pool put in there at GDV 9 years ago? What year?
That was a very good question. It was there from the very early days. In fact...
It was Ronald Biggs that was part of it, I think.
No.
Oh, no. He was part of the dressing room when he built Graham's dressing room.
And
do you think the pool was there before that?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you this. When I joined Channel 9 in 1958, and 3AK had a caravan outside the main building, I think the pool was there then. I think our caravan was beside the pool even in 1958.
Was it?
I think the pool was there from very early on, from the start. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why do you ask?
Because I've got an old TV week, and in the TV week it's got a picture of Bert with Joe Hudson, Billy Bean,
From the
and Jack
Dargies.
Whittle. And it was in the pool, and they pulled him in. They pulled Bert into the pool.
Right. And what year was that?
This would have been 1961, I think. You know?
Well, I think it was there from the very early days, Peter, based on what you said and based on what I've told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Paddy.
Yes.
Paddy, you probably remember me. I'm the one who lived in the street as your friend Donna lived in.
In Hamilton Street. Was that?
No, Spry Street.
Oh, that's it. That was her second house, Spry Street.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was the one who, remember I told you about Donna? You know, she was living at number 27 Spry Street.
Right, I do
And you
remember.
were telling me that you used to go and see her. You used to go and see.
I did, always. And she's overseas at the moment with her
Yeah, that's
son.
right. She's living in London, isn't she?
She is, and she works on the theatre show called Matilda.
Okay, oh good, that's coming to Melbourne.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for the memories, Peter.
Yes,
of
lovely
early
to
days
talk
at
to you.
Channel 9. Here's Colleen in Mornington, Patty.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Patty. Happy birthday from this week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I usually don't tell anyone because, you thought, don't want to get any older, but it doesn't matter now. Everybody knows how old you are anyway, don't they?
Well, you just have to be Jack Benny. He'd be 39 all these times.
I was always going to be 36. I love 36.
Say no more.
It's a nice age, I think.
But you know something, Colleen? I don't know how old you are, but you never feel any older, do you? You
really don't.
No, and I think that's our soul. I think we'll be forever 18 in our minds, you know?
I think it's your mind, myself.
Oh, yeah?
I think if you sort of are with young people and you love life and you're happy and you worry, you look after yourself, you dress up, put a bit of makeup on, get your hair done, just make yourself not gloomy, and you don't wander around in a tracksuit and can't be bothered and you're grumpy. I think that makes you old, but if you're happy,
sure.
I think you stay a bit younger.
It's all in your disposition. How are you? Do you enjoy good health, Colleen?
Very much so. Very much so. But, sorry, Phil, I would just let you know I'm an animal lover, big animal lover, and I booked my dog into a pet hotel in Port Melbourne.
Oh, yes.
And if you ever wanted to go away, do, because you can I know you might not be tech, but you can watch your dog on your phone.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's lovely. Is it expensive?
So can owners stay with their pets at the hotel or what?
No, you book your hotel. You book your dogs into the hotel, and we always book the penthouse, and they can have a big screen TV, come to private walks, or you can mix with other dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, but also the best thing about it, you can watch them on your phone.
Oh, what? Because there's a camera in the room or wherever they are.
Absolutely.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, I just thought, for a pet like mine, because you hear horrible stories, etc., on other, different things.
Well, I think the dogs fret a bit, don't they, sometimes when their owners go away. But if they've got a beautiful place like that to be in, they'd be happy as Larry.
Yeah, it's always full too, because we talk. She's got indoors, outdoors, whatever you want to take them, and it's not expensive by any means.
Isn't it? Well, that's good to know. What's it called again? Give them a plug.
It's called Pets Hotel in Port Melbourne.
Okay, we'll remember that.
Yeah, and honestly, like if you've got a special need dog, you might say, oh, I would like him to be walked 3 times a day.
Yeah.
They'll do it. They'll do it. And I have actually watched them, you know.
I've got 2 poodle bichons, and they're getting of an age where, you know, I think one might have a bit of a sight problem, one's got a hearing problem, and they're a little bit frail, and you think, I don't think I could go away and leave them with anyone, because I'd be worried.
Be pampered at this Port Melbourne hotel.
I'll take them to the hotel.
Paddy's in company with us tonight while Bruce has a bit of R&R, and Kathy's at Bayside. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Patty.
Hello, Kathy.
I just want to wish you a wonderful birthday for this Thursday. I've also got a birthday coming up on the 12th of February. But I've got
there you go.
45.
Oh, well, you're what?
45, so I'm still quite young.
You are very young. 45, I loved my 40s. I think I had a wonderful time in 40 time. I think 50 I was a bit anxious about. I didn't like 50 much, and then after that, you know, you haven't got much choice, have you? You just keep going.
You're more relaxed after 40, aren't you? You don't stress as much about all the things you fret about when you're younger, what you look like and your whole image. And
well, I think even at 70, you tend to sort of calm down a bit, and you don't stress as much, because I suppose you think, look, this is me, this is what you get. You know, I'm too old to change, so if you don't like me now, you're never going to.
Exactly.
But, you know, at 45, you've still got a long time to go. Lots of new adventures.
And I just want to add too, I think Darren Hinch and Graham Kennedy were Aquarians as well.
Yes, well,
gorgeous people.
I don't know if Darren, I don't know when his birthday is, but I know that Graham was.
Graham was about the day after Valentine's Day.
That's exactly right.
I think if he were alive, he'd be 82 or 83 this year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's getting on, isn't it?
All right, lovely talking to you, Kathy.
Thank you. Have a lovely...
Thank you, and you too for the 12th.
Okay, who's there now?
And we've got Zara. I love the name Zara.
Oh, yeah, it's actually Sahara, and she rings from New South Wales. Say hello
How
to
do you
Patty.
spell that? Zara, is it?
Yeah, it's just for short of Sahara.
Yeah,
Sahara.
like the desert.
Some songs and
beautiful.
Like the Sahara Desert,
my, my logo name for singing.
Yes.
I like that name. We're having a new grandchild, so, you know, names are sort of quite a big deal when you're having a new baby in the house, and you keep thinking of all different names. I like the name Sahara. That's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
But, you know, for singing, I thought, well, that's very good for the performance name too, but I don't actually, you know, I'm just a hobby singer.
Oh, are you? And what sort of songs do you like?
Well, I just made my own CD a long time ago, you know.
Right.
Not years and years ago. It was only about 3 years ago.
Well, why don't you sing a song for Patty tonight?
Come on, sing a song
for
me.
We're running out of time. Give us a chorus of a song, Sahara.
Well, I didn't have it ready, really, but I could sing a bit of I'm Dinky Die, Once Bitten, Twice Shy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Go for it.
Go on.
Sounds good.
Now?
Oh, yeah, well, we're running out of time, yes.
La difference, I'm Dinky Die, once bitten, twice shy. Are you Dinky Die, my mate, once bitten, twice shy? There are the sons of Australia. They're all waiting in tears. But I'm Dinky Die, once bitten, twice shy. And you're Dinky Die, once bitten, twice shy. And we must hear the Australian cry. I'm Dinky Die, once bitten, twice shy.
Oh, good on you.
Good.
That's fabulous.
My word, you know how to hold a note, Sahara.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my Aussie Battler song, I call it.
Oh,
with
yes.
difference.
Good on you.
That's someday might be our national anthem. Who knows?
Who knows? That's a fabulous
one
song.
more call.
We've got Karen from Sunshine.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Phil and Patty.
How are you going?
Good to talk to you, Patty. Happy birthday coming up.
Thank you. I know your voice very well from hearing it on 3AW.
Just a funny story. I think I might have told Phil, but I don't know if you know this one. Passengers on a flight from America were quite surprised to see a turkey sitting in a seat next to a man. And they asked the air hostess, what's the turkey doing sitting on the seat? And they said that it's now a law, it was actually passed in the 80s, I think, you're allowed to have a pet with you if it calms you down.
Oh.
But you need a letter from the doctor. Now, I rang Luke Bono and told him, and he Googled it, and it's true.
Really?
Imagine.
True story. It was on news radio.
Would it have been in a cage?
Or might have been, I don't know.
I imagine so.
Well,
But I mean,
are
I
you
think
saying
it's
maybe Phil could take his dog with him?
Yeah, or Tweety, yeah.
It happens to draw to a lot of things, you know, and I mean, and apparently the pet's not allowed to do its business either. But how can you stop a pet from doing its business?
Oh, you'd have to take a fish.
Oh, no, with birds, there are bird nappies you can get, Karen, for all types of birds, probably including turkeys.
Oh,
But
there
it
you
really
go.
is a true story, and I got quite a shock when Luke, when I heard it, and Luke Bono googled to death. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, it was probably travelling on Thanksgiving Day.